Hello and welcome to the culmination of 10 days of racing in the Ice Speedway finals. And for many of the riders, it began even before that with a challenge at the Norrköping track here in Sweden in mid-January. So with that in mind, it's a harmonious return to where it all began this year, as we're in Uppsala, 70 kilometres north of the capital Stockholm, in a country holding onto the final strands of a cold European winter. As spring rears its head, we're ready to start Final 5 of the Motul FIM Ice Speedway World Championship. Our normal 15 riders will line up, but we're missing Harold Simon. He is recovering from the injuries that he suffered. We have a wild card in Fredrik Johansson, and Per-Anders Lindström will replace Harold Simon for this race weekend. As normal, the parade took place under absolutely stunning blue skies. It was still cold though, between -2 and -4 at the track, and everything taking place as normal, ready for this final 5, the racing on day 1. Let's get straight on with Heat 1. Daniel Ivanov lining up in this alongside Koltakov, so the showdown starts from the first heat. And Ivanov with a good start from the outside, Koltakov just behind him on this fresh ice. We're in an outdoor track, so it is natural ice here. And it is Daniel Ivanov who takes first blood over Dmitry Koltakov. That is not good for Koltakov. He needs to take all those head-to-heads if he wants to have a chance of keeping his championship hopes alive. Fredrik Johansson, the wild card, lines up in this one, and a good start for him on the outside, pushed a little bit wide there by Vitaly Kmitovic. Svensson coming through on the inside of him. Kmitovic has got this one at the moment. His form's come on late in the season. There is Svensson holding off the challenge of Jan Klutowski, but it will be Svensson who gets the points for second position. The wild card in 4th in Heat 2. Heat 3, Gunther Bauer on the inside, but look out for Dmitry Kmitovic sweeping round from the start, heading Bauer and Pletsacker, who then loses out to Per-Anders Lindström, the third-ranked Swedish rider in the Swedish Championship at the beginning of this year, showing some good speed coming through in third place, getting his day off to a decent start. Edward Krysov lines up on the inside of this one and has it at the moment ahead of Pavel Chaika. Frankie Zorn just moving through into second place, Robert Henderson behind them. Zorn now into second place behind Chaika, but Chaika's got good drive. Zorn going for the inside on Krysov now. He moves through, so Zorn takes the lead briefly, pushing right to the outside. Oh, and they touch. Krysov was caught with Zorn as Zorn tried to turn in, and Krysov had nowhere to go. He was lucky to keep that one on 2 wheels. That could have been very, very nasty. Zorn cutting across the front of Krysov there. And already with 4 heats done, it will be Ivanov, Kmitovic, Vitali and Franz Zorn who are our top 4 at the moment. Koltakov with that early loss already lagging behind where he needs to be. On to Heat 5, Stefan Petsacker in this one, his bike just being wheeled out. Stefan Svensson will be inside him, Gregor Knapp and Robert Henderson on the inside, and it is Knapp and Henderson 4 abreast into turn 1, absolutely dead level. It's Pletsacker who loses out, pushed way outside, and it is Henderson who's got this early on, ahead of Svensson. Good start for Henderson, pushing down, but no, on the inside, no, then the outside, it is Svensson. And they've both got past Henderson. Problems for Henderson getting into that corner. And it's Gregor Knapp. Gregor Knapp is going to win this. It's been a while since he's won a heat. And the Polish rider back onto some sort of form here to take 3 points and win heat number 5. Heat 6, inside line for Frankie Zorn. Vitaly Kmitovic sweeping round the outside. The outside line is very quick early on this smooth ice. They're just able to cut across and not have to worry too much about the bumps. Gunther Bauer in third place. Actually, Vitaly Kmitovic makes a mistake, drops it back. Franz Zorn gets through, and Gunther Bauer looks like he's moved through as well. Indeed, it is Bauer who's challenging Zorn as we head round to the final little finish. And Kmitovic draws back to third while Zorn takes it just over Gunther Bauer. He tried to cut back inside, but it wasn't to be. Anders Lindström on the inside, number 20. Slow start for him. Here comes Koltikov sweeping around the outside. Early lead, Krysov just nestling in behind him, and Jan Klatovsky in this one at third at the moment. But it's nice and easy for Koltikov. Gets his championship course back on track. And Lindström is down on the last lap, into the bales, but up. They will have a bit of a struggle to dig that bike out. Ivanov watching on and lining up for heat number 8 on the inside line. Johansson just alongside him, and Dmitry Kmitsevich up into second place at the moment. It's Pavel Chaika in third, and in fact it was not Kmitsevich in second. It was Ivanov who's now challenging for the lead. The two teammates, identical bikes, and Ivanov sweeps around the outside, runs the faster line, not the shorter line, and takes this, looking for that smooth ice, and will take 3 points. So Ivanov beats Kmitsevich into second, Pavel Chaika in third. So with 8 heats down, it's Ivanov ahead of Franz Zorn, who's got a maximum points haul at the moment. Koltikov makes his way back into third, Kmitsevich in fourth, Pavel Chaika only down in 10th position at the moment. We're already on to heat 10, and number 10, Vitaly Kmitsevich, will line up on the inside track for this one. Tape goes up, and away they go. Kmitsevich has got it early on. Pavel Chaika nestled in behind him. 10 and 11. The Samara backed rider leading this one at the moment. Gregor's Knapp looking up the inside. But it's not to be. Gregor's Knapp having to settle for third position. So Kmitsevich takes it. Pavel Chaika in second. Gregor's Knapp in third for 1 point. Stefan Svensson lining up for heat number 10. Dmitry Kmitsevich on the inside line there. Krysov sweeping in behind him. So it's Kmitsevich from Krysov early on. Stellingworth dropped back already. Stefan Svensson just hanging on in third place. Little bit of a bubble mid-corner there for Kmitsevich, but no real problems. He's away with this one. And the maximum points will be his. Over the line. And Krysov will follow him through in second place, ahead of Svensson. Heat number 11 for you now. The wild card, Johansson, alongside Pletsacker, Dmitry Koltikov, and Frankie Zorn. On the outside, let's see if that works. Sweeping the long way around, and it's Koltikov and Zorn. Koltikov pushes Zorn a little bit wide, and that allows Johansson back up the inside, but Zorn covers his line well. Koltikov already switching wide lines, all very, very close to the edge there. But no real problems, nice and easy. Koltikov takes it ahead of Frankie Zorn, who loses his first points of the night. Stefan Pletsacker looks pretty disappointed with fourth place there. He wants a bit more. Henderson on the inside line. Ivanov sweeps across in front of him. Jan Klatovsky runs the outside line. And Gunther Bauer and Henderson tangle briefly. Bauer looks down as to see what's going on, and all he sees is Henderson pushing at his back tyre. Daniel Ivanov away with this one so far. Jan Klatovsky in second position. But not for long. Here comes Gunther Bauer pushing Klatovsky well wide into the barriers. Klatovsky was lucky not to go down there as he caught his foot peg in the barriers, and hard riding there for Gunther Bauer, but it will be worth it. He moves his way up into 6th position in the standings ahead of Krysov and Chaika, who's now in the top 8. Stefan Svensson losing out at the moment, and all those riders on 1 point after 12 heats already. Jan Klatovsky closest to the camera, Dmitry Kmitsevich, Franz Zorn and Gregor's Knapp on the outside. But early on there was a problem for Frankie Zorn. The bike cutting out on him, and they're going to be a restart. So with no Zorn, we're away for the second bite of the cherry at heat 13. Dmitry Kmitsevich, good start for him, sweeps round and leads ahead of Gregor's Knapp. This track's starting to slow considerably. They've lost about 3 seconds lap already since the beginning of the day. It's not like Assen where they were pretty consistent all the way. In heat 14, we had a big moment for the wild card. Fredrik Johansson had a big crash over the top of the barriers, but he was up and okay. But a big knock for him there. That's the danger of being caught in the barriers. Just catch your foot peg and it'll flip the bike. On the restart, Robert Henderson, good start, but then out wide. And that means that Per-Anders Lindström up into first place. So Sweden, and René Stellingwerff in there as well. Looks like it's going to be a win for the man who is replacing Harold Simon. It is. Per-Anders Lindström takes it ahead of Robert Henderson. No, he doesn't. Henderson had a problem right at the end and has to settle for third place behind René Stellingwerff. His best individual points haul of a race so far this season. Pavel Chaika with the early lead ahead of Koltikov in this heat. Gunther Bauer just behind them. Pavel Chaika got this one. Koltikov running the outside line, cutting back inside, very close to Gunther Bauer there. Now switching back to the inside and taking it from Chaika. Koltikov up into the lead. This is close behind them. And here comes Svensson up on Chaika now. It will be Koltikov who gets it. And Chaika in the end pushed back to fourth position behind Svensson and Gunther Bauer, who made it through too. Pletsacker, slow start from the inside line. Daniel Ivanov just pushing Krysov wide, and Vitaly Kimicevic settling into second position. Number 1, Ivanov ahead of 10, Vitaly Kimicevic. And nice and simple for him. On the line, Kimicevic just holds on to it ahead of Krysov. So Ivanov, 1 point gap now between him and Koltikov. Still from that first heat defeat. Pavel Chaika drops down once more and out of the running for the semi-final places alongside Jan Klotowski. Gunther Bauer will start in heat 17. He was just putting his helmet on there and he is getting out to the track and ready for this race. Down into turn 1 and Gunther Bauer's wide and straight. Loses all grip and straight into the barriers. Buries the bike, but he's up and okay. Didn't take long for him to lose grip. Perhaps a failure in the tyre, but we've got a restart here, and it's Krysov with the restart ahead of Knapp. And Fredrik Olsson, who's going to restart this race, replacing Fredrik Johansson. But no worries for Krysov. Up and over. And Gregor's Knapp on the final lap, problems, and the bike cuts out on him. So no points for Gregor's Knapp. Heat 18, 3 heats to go. Stefan Pletsacker on the inside. Bad start for Jan Klotowski. René Stellingwerff ahead of him briefly, but pushed back to fourth early on. Pavel Chaika's got this one at the moment. Fighting with Pletsacker. Watch out for Klotowski though, he's coming through. Past Pletsacker, now he's challenging Chaika. The Czech rider who's not had all the running this year, the number 19, is looking for the race win here. Cut to the inside line and gas it for the line, but it won't be time enough for the Czech rider, and Pavel Chaika will take the 3 points, and that could get him into the semi-finals. Koltikov on the inside line, loses out to Kimicevic straight away. Oh, and a big moment for Henderson, looks down. I think that was just the tyre losing grip and bucking him up. Maybe hit a patch of snow, but it is Kimicevic ahead of Koltikov briefly. Big wheelie there for Vitaly. Dropped him back, but now he's cutting back to the inside line. Koltikov needs to take this. He can't lose this race. Switching to the outside, he'll pull it back, but I think it will be, yes indeed, Dmitry Kimicevic who takes it ahead of Koltikov, who loses 1 more point. Vitaly Kimicevic in third position. 1 more race to go. Svensson Zorn, Per-Anders Lindström, and Daniel Ivanov on the outside line, sweeping round with the yellow helmet to take the early lead ahead of Frankie Zorn, who's going to lose out to Svensson if he's not lucky. Ivanov takes this. The final heat goes to Daniel Ivanov ahead of Frankie Zorn and Stefan Svensson. So, with those points decided, it is Ivanov who'll get the number 1 gate pick ahead of Kimicevic, Koltikov, Zorn. Vitaly Kimicevic in there as well. Gregor's Knapp just unlucky to miss out on his first semi-final of the year. Ivanov with the number 1 pick will start ahead of Zorn, who was 4th. Then we've got Krysov and an excited-looking Pavel Chaika. Dmitry Kimicevic ahead of Koltikov, Vitaly Kimicevic, and Gunther Bauer in another semi-final after such a good race in Incel. Last time out, he's back in another semi-final. Bike started, bike's ready. Let's go for semi-final number 1. Ivanov, Zorn, Krysov and Chaika with the outside line. Watch out for Chaika. The outside line has been good. It's a bit more rutted now, but let's see how he does. Looking to sweep, and in fact it will be Krysov who takes it from the blue starting gate. Sorry, from the white starting gate. It's Zorn in blue, but not for long. The engine power that Daniel Ivanov has and the drive he's got is just too much for these guys. Ivanov away with 1 lap down. Krysov now holding off the attentions of Frankie Zorn, who had an uncharacteristic bad start from a decent gate pick. He's just moved out. Oh, and a big bobble there for Zorn. Hits a big rut, and it catapults the bike up, and he loses all drive out of there, and that has opened this heat right up. Big spaces between these guys. We were expecting that it would be the more spaced out heat, and with 1 lap to go, though it's closing up a little bit now, the fight for 3rd position, Chaika is attacking Zorn with everything he's got. But Zorn is not close enough to Krysov. Number 9, Krysov, looking to make it through to the final for the first time this year. And he does make it through behind Ivanov. Chaika has to settle for 4th behind Frankie Zorn, and that big bobble when he was on a route to challenge Krysov is what hindered Frankie Zorn's charge to the final once more. Semi-final number 2. Dmitry Kmitsevich, Koltakov, Vitaly Kmitsevich, and Gudabauer on the outside. Let's see what we've got here. At the start, it is Vitaly Kmitsevich who runs it wide, but had the whole shot. Oh, and a big crash for Vitaly Kmitsevich. He ran it too wide, hit some snow, and a big high side for him there, and clearly bruised his hip on the landing. Landing on this ice is not fun in any way. On the restart, Koltakov and Kmitsevich. And it's Kmitsevich with the early running. Koltakov going too wide there. Has to stand it up. Kmitsevich leading this Gudabauer in 3rd place. Already dropping back a little bit. Switching to the outside line goes Koltakov. The Mega Lada rider Kmitsevich has got this one controlled. He's guarding that inside line. But watch for Koltakov to cut back. He does. Koltakov trying to cut back and put it up the inside. And he's up the inside. Koltakov does it. Now he's guarding the inside line. Runs a little bit wide. Kmitsevich can put it back inside. Koltakov, he needs this win. Switching back to the outside line. Will it be enough? No, Kmitsevich is through. Koltakov left it too wide. Kmitsevich now has the advantage. Pushing it up the inside. Koltakov just holding into this one. He could just close the gap. Again, pushes it a bit wide. Watch out, Kmitsevich on the run to the line. It will be Kmitsevich who takes it. That was an awesome last turn for Dmitry Kmitsevich. Great racecraft that gave him the win over Koltakov, who just left the door open. He went in too tight, had to go out wide, and Kmitsevich ran the other line to take the 3 points. So Ivanov with the number 1 gate pick ahead of Kmitsevich, Koltakov, and Eduard Krysov will start on our yellow gate pick for this final. We've got really even gates here this evening. So the advantage that they normally get from the inside line isn't there. Anybody can take this whole shot. Who will it be? It won't be Kmitsevich with that. He has a bad moment. Koltakov runs it wide, but it will be Ivanov. Just Ivanov takes it. Oh, Koltakov hit the barrier. Koltakov has caught the barrier, and that will be the end of his day. That is disaster for Koltakov. He was in 3rd position, ran wide, and caught the barrier in the back wheel. So no Koltakov for this restart, and on the restart, it's Ivanov once more. Krysov, long way round, having to run through the snow to get some grip. Ivanov ahead of Kmitsevich. Kmitsevich ahead of Ivanov. He does what he did to Koltakov, pulls it back through. He has got that line dialed in. Wide out, tight in on the way. Great riding for Kmitsevich here. He has got his lines on this track absolutely sorted. Ivanov having to push right to the outside line, but he's not got it at the moment. Ivanov has got no reply for the line of Kmitsevich. He's blocking him on the way in, he's blocking him on the way out. Running for it. Here we go with Ivanov. 1 lap to go, but he lost time then. Koltakov out of this, Ivanov could seal it almost if he gains the 3 points here, but it's not going to be Kamicevic. Will he win his first race of the year? It looks like it. Kamicevic takes it. Ivanov dives to the inside, but it's not to be. Edward Krysov in third position, his first podium. But for Dmitry Kamicevic, that is his first race win of the year. He ties on points with Daniil Ivanov. That should seal third place in the championship for him, but Daniil Ivanov has not been able to get it done today, despite the failures of Dmitry Koltikov in the final. And we will have another day of tight racing still to come.
По-русски или по-английски? По-русски.
Daniil Ivanov asking whether he should speak in Russian or English, but Russian's better, he says. Thank you very much for your congratulations. Today, I got 17 points. Tomorrow, I think I need to get about 6 more to get the championship win.
Завтра надо всего набрать, грубо говоря, 6 очков, чтобы стать чемпионом мира. И в ожидании завтрашнего дня.
Thank you for your congratulations. Finally, I managed to get first place. As before, I've been only getting second and third. Finally, it was my day, and I got it. So in the championship, Ivanov has that 15-point gap over Koltikov, so 6 points, as he said, is what he needs to seal it as we head towards day 2. Big congratulations for Dmitry Kamicevic. He's had illness problems, he's had injury problems, but it's all come good here for him on day 1 in Uppsala as the Russian national anthem rings out once more over the ice. Speedway. Day 2, and it is just as dry and bright as it was, but still bitterly cold. As the fans pour in, and we catch up with Vitaly Kamicevic. Everything went well until I fell down. I was going second, but unfortunately, after that fall, everything changed for me, and I'm just not happy about that. Yesterday wasn't an easy day to fight. I was racing, but unfortunately, I've been sick since the previous round in Insul. And definitely, that influenced my results. Yesterday, I was really not able to ride the motorcycle how I want when I'm sick. Unfortunately, yesterday didn't go as planned. I had an injury with my hand that hindered me, and at the end, I had some bad luck. So, on to Heat 1, and it could all end quite early for Koltikov. The gap needs to be... In fact, it doesn't really matter what the gap is. It's all about the points that Ivanov can get. He's not in Heat 1, Koltikov is, and all he can do is go for race wins. Koltikov from Vitaly Kamicevic at the moment on the fresh ice. And it's Koltikov who looks like a man, a different man today. Perhaps his hand injury is healing up a little bit, or he's just fighting through the pain. Kamicevic having to hold off the attentions of Günther Bauer right at the end. Günther Bauer cutting to the inside, not quite. 3 points for Koltikov, Vitaly Kamicevic with 2. Daniil Ivanov lines up in heat number 2 with the inside line. And Dmitry Kamicevic pushed outside by Daniil Ivanov, and Pavel Chaika comes through from the Whitegate pick to get into second place. Not for long. There we go again with that line from Kamicevic. He just pulls it back inside, accelerates harder, and squeezes through, but he's not close enough to take the win. They'll have to settle for second position behind Ivanov. And that means that Ivanov is halfway to sealing this championship. Heat number 3, René Stellingwerff on the inside line, Robert Henderson on the outside, Gregor Knapp and Frankie Zorn watch for him in the white. And it is Zorn who gets it early on, picking that bike up and streaming away from the 3 chasing pack behind him. He was unlucky yesterday with bike problems, but he is dominating today. So Frankie Zorn will take it ahead of Gregor Knapp and Robert Henderson. Heat 4, Svensson, Klitowski, Per-Anders Lindström and Stefan Pletsacker. Svensson on the inside, Pletsacker sweeps round the outside. Good start for him, but he loses it on the way out. Klotowski's in there as well, and Svensson in first place. But now look out for Lindström. Lindström is now challenging Svensson. He knows he can beat him. And the Hammersby rider in the all green is pushing through to take this. And it will be the replacement rider, Per-Anders Lindström, who takes it. Great 3 points for him ahead of Svensson and Klotowski. So Daniel Ivanov, 3 points alongside Koltikov, but all he needs is 3 more, and there is very little that Koltikov can do about this. He's just looking to win the day overall. This is where it's gonna be. We've got Koltikov and Ivanov for you in the next heat, lining up alongside each other. And this could be the deciding one of the championship. If Ivanov wins, then he's going to get it. If Koltikov wins, he'll go a little bit further. But at the moment, Ivanov is ahead. Ivanov ahead of Koltikov. Frankie Zorn behind them. Stefan Pletsacker in 4th position. Ivanov is doing what he needs to do, but Koltikov is closing. He is not going to give this one up easily. Switching outside, Ivanov going defensive. Koltikov pulling it up inside, but it will be Ivanov. Takes the race win, takes the championship ahead of Koltikov. What a race from Daniel Ivanov, but I'm not sure even he knows quite what has happened in that heat. There's a lot of racing still to go, but our championship is done and dusted. Jan Kotowski on the inside, Pavel Chaika sweeping round with this one behind Vitaly Kamitovic, who starts to have been second to none so far this weekend. Kamitovic from Chaika. Behind them, Jan Kotowski is holding off René Stellingwerff, but it's not to be for Stellingwerff. 4th position for him, behind the 2 Russians and the Czech rider. Gregor Snap, number 7 on the inside, Svensson 13, Kamitovic 2, and then on the outside, the recovered Fredrik Johansson from his crash yesterday. See what he can do, picks it up into 3rd place behind Svensson, who's losing out to Kamitovic at the moment. Kamitovic takes the win. Svensson just holds on to 2nd place ahead of Gregor Snap, who recovered from a 4th place start to bring it through into 3rd. Gunther Bauer on the inside, Krysov, Henderson, and then Per-Anders Lindström on the far side of your screen. Good start though for Krysov ahead of Gunther Bauer, who cuts back up the inside. Gunther Bauer going for the lead. Gunther Bauer takes the lead over Krysov briefly, but it will be Krysov who pulls it back. Krysov takes the win just over Gunther Bauer. So there you go, 6 points, that's all he needed. Ivanov has got it. Kamitovic in 2nd and 4th place so far for Dmitry Koltikov. Gunther Bauer with 3 points to his name, looking to get through to another set of semi-finals. So Koltikov, all he can do with his trainer Krasnikov is look for race wins, and he's up in this next heat. Chaika will be alongside him, as well as Lindström and Gregor Snap with the outside line. Chaika on the inside, sweeping through. And Gregor Snap pulling it back. Koltikov in 3rd position at the moment. Lindström in 4th. Here comes Nap. Nap is looking to take this one. Nap moves into 1st briefly, but 3rd as they turn in. Here comes Koltikov. No, it's Nap that's got it. Nap has got the inside line and the lead, and Koltikov pushed back to 3rd behind Chaika. It's going to be Nap. Nap takes it. Amazing race for Gregor Snap. Absolutely superb riding from the Polish rider to take 3 points ahead of a stacked field of Chaika and Koltikov. Henderson inside line, no answer for Daniel Ivanov, settles into 2nd position. Vitaly Kamitovic, not the best start for him, but he moves round the outside into 2nd position behind this man, Ivanov. Ivanov wheelies over the line and takes it ahead of Vitaly Kamitovic. Robert Henderson has to settle for 4th place as Svensson snuck through. Johansson on the inside, Frankie Zorn with a decent start. Edvard Krysov pushing him as well, but it's Frankie Zorn ahead of Johansson. Johansson riding very, very well here, but he's losing out to Krysov in 2nd position. Frankie Zorn pulling away with this one. Should be 3 points for Frankie Zorn unless Krysov has got something to say about it. A last gasp estimate for Krysov, not to be. Frankie Zorn takes it 3 points to his name. Dmitry Kmitovic lining up on the inside with Gunther Bauer, Stefan Pletsacker and Rennie Stellingwerf on the outside. Good start for Kmitovic. Nice and simple, clicked in its second gear and away. Look at the gap he's got already after turn one. It's Gunther Bauer who's the best of the rest at the moment. Got the dark visor in. It is that sunny out here. Some days we've had absolutely atrocious weather and we've got absolutely atrocious luck for Gunther Bauer, who's dropped out with a mechanical problem. So Gunther Bauer, his chances now scuppered perhaps of getting through into the semi-finals. We see him in 11th position, still only on 3 points. Already on to heat 13 of day 2. 8 races to go in the heats. This season has absolutely flown past, and these riders will fly past our cameras one more time in heat 13. Koltikov on the inside. Good start for him, but Kmitovic is the one that is leading it. Kmitovic again holding on to this one, but Koltikov does it back to him, and Koltikov does a Kmitovic to Kmitovic. Pulls it back at the last and takes 3 points. Good racing, and he is learning quickly, the 21-year-old Russian rider. Look out for Krysov on the outside line. And he does. Krysov sweeps ahead of Vitaly Kmitovic, cuts him off. Kmitovic will stand it up. He's got the inside line for turn number 2. And pushes Krysov wide. Krysov now cutting back inside, and they switch lines as 1 lap to go. It is Kmitovic from Krysov. Krysov up the inside, and he will get it. That inside line is the quickest line around that final bend, and it is the way we've seen so many people steal the maximum points over these 2 days.
Yellow, heat number 15.
Daniel Ivanov on the outside line, little squiggle off the start, but doesn't mean any difference for the turn-in. Oh, big moment there for, that was Lindström, I think. No, it was Johansson, actually, who had a big wobble, and that put him right to the back of the field. So, Daniel Ivanov from Per-Anders Lindström and Rennie Stellingwerf getting 1 single point. Johansson not able to carry on after that bobble, and it was a mechanical failure for the Swedish rider. Heat 16, the final one of this block. Franz Zorn, Pavel Chaika, Gunther Bauer and Stefan Svensson on the outside, and it's Franz Zorn with a good start ahead of Svensson. Big bobble for Svensson, drops him back to 4th. Pavel Chaika cuts through into the lead. Oh, look at Franz Zorn, he just rolled off the throttle so late there, and it actually cost him on the way out. Pavel Chaika gets it ahead of Zorn, Svensson, and then Gunther Bauer in 4th position. So Ivanov, 2 points to gap ahead of Kmitovic. Franz Zorn, great for him in 3rd position. Vitaly Kmitovic in 5th. Per-Anders Lindström on the cusp of getting through ahead of Svensson into the semi-finals. Rennie Stellingwerf and Dmitry Koltikov making some adjustments ahead of this heat number 17. Neither of them in heat 17. Daniel Ivanov on the inside. Oh, big moments there for Gregor's Nap. Completely kicked him out of the seat, and that's put him way back down. It actually also inhibited Gunther Bauer as well, so neither of these two can challenge Daniel Ivanov. And Jan Kotowski is in 2nd position, a very comfortable and nice 2nd position for the Czech rider at the moment. The number 1 will be number 1 as well next year, and he crosses the line with another race win. Gregor's Nap recovered a little bit of his pace, but will have to settle for 3rd position after that opening lap mistake. 3 heats to go. Dmitry Kmitovic closest to the camera. Good start for him. Vitaly Kmitovic as well. A decent start for him. Franz Zorn not so good. And Per-Anders Lindström in 4th place at the moment. Oh, big moment there for Kmitovic the younger. As he slipped, the bike just slid away from him as he hit some snow, but he manages to hold it together. And he's going to take it ahead of his brother, and then Zorn, Per-Anders Lindström, no points for him as they repaint the lines that get so covered with all the ice that gets kicked up and racked up from these tyres and studs. Heat 19, Johansson gets squeezed down at the first corner. And Pavel Choika, oh, and we got a crasher. That's Robert Henderson. Just completely lost all grip there. Ran it in too hot. The bike went away from it. Tried to turn it where there was no grip. And takes a ride back to the pits on the back of Pletsaker's bike. Pletsaker will restart, but Henderson won't. Pavel Choika, better start for him. Moves into first place ahead of Pletsaker and Fredrik Johansson. Oh, really way up the inside line there for Pavel Choika, completely over the blue line. Perhaps the stewards will have a look at that later on, as he was so far over, about a foot over. In heat 20, we had a big crash for René Stellingworth. The bike got absolutely buried, but he is okay. And that's the end, and an ignominious end, to his ice racing championship for this year. On the restart, it is Koltikov, sweeps it round, but Krysov pulls up the inside and briefly leads, and Koltikov rolls off later and pushes it in to take the early lead. Ivanov watches on. He knows that he's got to race Koltikov again, and he wants to get the win. So it's Koltikov ahead of Krysov in that. So Ivanov, Kmitovic, Koltikov, Kmitovic, Pavel Choika makes it through, and Gregor Znap alongside Franz Zorn into the semi-final for the first time. But Anders Lindström just missing out. Unlucky for the Swedish rider. Ivanov, number one gate pick. Choika still not looking very happy about it. Franz Zorn a little bit happier. Dmitry Kmitovic, Dmitry Koltikov, Vitaly Kmitovic, and a slightly confused looking Gregor Znap as he heads for his first semi-final appearance of the season. It started so slow, but it's finally starting to come good for the Polish rider. Our lineup: Ivanov, Choika, Krysov and Zorn on the outside line. And all big bobble there for Daniel Ivanov, and it's going to give the early lead to Frankie Zorn, but he manages to block it from the inside line, and it is Ivanov from Choika and Zorn. Zorn briefly into second position, rolls off long. Choika's got it covered though. He'll pick it up, push Zorn out towards the barriers. Oh, Zorn is riding hard. He is trying everything he can. Perhaps everything he shouldn't be doing to get ahead of Choika, but it's not to be. Choika's up into second position now. Krysov nowhere at the moment in fourth. Ivanov streaking away with this one. The fight is for second. Choika held off Zorn, and up the inside again. The Russians cutting way over the line. Krysov trying to get through on Frankie Zorn. 1 lap to go, and that is Dmitry Kmitovic looking on as Daniel Ivanov takes the win, and he will be joined in the final by Pavel Choika, who obviously feeling a little bit better than he was yesterday. Fist bump between the two, and those are our two first finalists. Franz Zorn unlucky to miss out on that one. He rode as hard as he has done all season, but it finishes with third. Krysov in fourth position in that semi-final. An absolutely packed house here at Uppsala to watch semi-final number 2. 2 races left in this Ice Speedway Gladiators Championship year, and it will be Dmitry Kmitovic on the inside line, Koltikov outside him, the soon-to-retire Vitaly Kmitovic, and then Gregor Znap. So Dmitry Kmitovic, early good start with his brother outside him, and Koltikov pushed back into third position. Vitaly Kmitovic is playing a defensive game. He makes no qualms about that. He wants his brother to win this race today, but he's leaving a big wide line there for Koltikov. But there's a wall in front of him. A wall that has a gap, and there goes Koltikov. Koltikov slides it through. Great move by him. Rolls off the throttle a little bit later and slides through into the lead, and now he's got it. He is through on Dmitry Kmitovic. Vitaly Kmitovic can do nothing about it. And Koltikov, absolutely stunning move from him. Second place will be Dmitry Kmitovic. Vitaly Kmitovic wheelies over the line in third position, and that will be it for one of the elder statesmen of the Russian side of this sport. We won't see him next year, and he knows. He is happy with that and about to retire. The former world championship. We say goodbye to you, Vitaly. Dmitry Koltikov with that win. Great ride from him. One more race to decide who will take the victory here today. Daniel Ivanov, first gate pick for choosing the outside line, and Pavel Choika will end up with the inside gate pick, and perhaps a little bit confused about that, but it is so close here with all the starting gates. Daniil Ivanov just deciding to throw things on their head and pick the outside line. Ivanov on the left, Koltakov next to him, Dmitry Kmitsevich next to him, and then Chaika on the inside line. Let's see if that helps Pavel Chaika. Head down, but no, it will be Kmitsevich and Ivanov who are 1 and 2 going into turn 1. Koltakov again, not a great start for him, and he's in exactly the same position as he was in his semi-final, but he now has Daniil Ivanov ahead of him. Kmitsevich won yesterday. Ivanov looking to return the favour today and sign off the championship in style. Koltakov in third at the moment. 1, 2, 3, the numbers, 1, 2, 3 in the race. Chaika is out of this one. It's a fight for second now. Round the outside for Koltakov, picks it up. He's level with him. If he can do that again, he might come out ahead in this corner. He is ahead, and he'll pull it back inside and ahead. Yes, Koltakov is up into second position now. What can he do about Ivanov? Kmitsevich in third, but it will be Ivanov who takes it. Nothing on the line for Koltakov. Ivanov wins the championship and the race and the final round in some serious style. Great ride from the champion-elect. Ivanov pretty happy with this one. Congratulates the outgoing champion Nikolai Krasnikov, who's been working all year hard with the man who finished in second place, Dmitry Koltakov. 1, 2, 3 in the championship, 1, 2, 3 in the final race. Pavel Chaika, good to see him get into a final after a weak couple of rounds. Vitaly Kmitsevich will finish 5th. Franz Zorn, another good 6th position for him, and he will finish the season as best of the European riders once more. So, on our first podium for the race, it is a race win and a golden trophy for Daniil Ivanov. It was a long and intensive championship, and I definitely made lots of mistakes on the way through. But next year, I will do my best and try again to fight for first place. It's a technical sport, as I've said, and I put a goal for myself for what I wanted to achieve, and I was always fighting for it. However, I still have a higher aim for next year, and I will do my best to do it. Thank you for your congratulations. It was not an easy championship for me. This was my first time being in first, as I've made second 2 times before. And this is my medal that I was expecting for so long. And I have many happy thoughts right now. I want to say thank you to all the team that supported me. My father, my brother, my mechanics, my engine tuner, and all those people who supported me in the race. It was our common achievement, and thank you to my wife and daughter.
Всем огромное спасибо, мы это заслужили все вместе. And для моей жены и дочки.
And thank you to my wife and daughter for being with me. So there are your championship standings. Daniil Ivanov takes it over Koltakov and Kmitsevich. Vitaly Kmitsevich signs off with a 4th place in the championship. A great season of racing here. On the championship podium, Daniil Ivanov will take the trophy from the outgoing champion, the man who retired at the beginning of the year. And Daniil Ivanov is your Ice Speedway Gladiators champion for 2013. The spring is coming, and the Ice Speedway Gladiators have to put their bikes away for another season. But what a remarkable season it has been for everybody here. Bad moments, difficult moments. Well, I remember some difficult moments back in the teams championship in Poland. Back then, my riding was very important for the team, as against the Austrians, we were fighting for the gold medal. It was a really hard fight and very important for all of us. But obviously, I have some good memories for every single race where I took part. My best memories are from the races in Holland, as I managed to win 2 races there, and it was a perfect weekend.
I
can't really answer the question about what's been bad as the season is long, but what I can say is that I try not to keep bad memories in my head, but also try not to focus too much on my achievements and positive moments, because we should always try to grow and improve. Well, obviously I have bad memories from the races in Insel when I crashed. And I had a crash here as well, and I've got a few injuries, which is a bit sad.
Второй день было падение, и вчера немного на тренировке не повезло, тоже падение было. Немножко получил травму. Надеюсь, что будет все хорошо.
I've got better with having a much more positive attitude to competition. And now I think I've got motivation to grow and get better results for next year. I don't want to share what my technical secret is as you record. It's a secret. I have a team of mechanics who work with me and work with my engines and other parts of the bike. And this is my secret that I would prefer to keep to myself. What about the best moment of the season for these 2 top Russian riders? Every moment is the heat of my career. Every race is important. Everything went according to plan. Nothing was bad.